Hey guys, in today's session we're going to talk about Kubernetes namespace. So Kubernetes namespaces are logical partitions within the Kubernetes cluster, which is used for isolating the Kubernetes objects like pods, deployment services, etc. And these namespaces are used in such cases like we have multiple applications and that applications we want to deploy in the same Kubernetes cluster while having the isolation of these Kubernetes workloads. So in these cases we can use these Kubernetes namespaces. Now let's go ahead and create the namespace. I'm in my Minikube Kubernetes cluster. So let's first check the existing namespaces in my local with the command kubectl get ns, or instead of ns we can even use namespace. Both commands will work. So these are the four out of the box namespaces that comes along with the Kubernetes setup. The default namespace contains the Kubernetes objects. Whatever the resources that we create without namespace specifications gets deployed into this default namespace. Kube node list. This is basically used for worker nodes health status or health checks. And kube public, this contains publicly available cluster data which is not used for any requirements. Kube system, this contains Kubernetes system resources. Now let's go ahead and create the Kubernetes namespace. I will switch to YAML definition I've created for the namespace creation called web app. So kind namespace is what I want to create, and metadata, name of my namespace is web app, and labels like name, web app, environment, dev. So let's go ahead and create this namespace. For that I'll switch back to here and I'm in the same location. This file I have to execute. Kubectl apply -f file name. My namespace is created. Kubectl get ns. As you can see, web app is created now. Now if I describe the namespace, kubectl describe ns web app, like name of the this namespace, labels, this gets added automatically by the kube system. Annotations, we have not added anything. Status is active. Now let's go ahead and create a pod inside this namespace. I have also created the pod definition for it, single container pod. So this is the same pod example that we have seen in the previous session. So the pod name is single container pod that I want to create in the namespace web app. So namespace should be under the metadata. Let's go ahead and create this pod. Kubectl apply -f single container pod. My pod is also created. Now let's get the pods. Kubectl get pods. As you can see, the default namespace is this one, but in order to get the pods that are in the other namespace, we have to use the command -hyphen namespace namespace name. So this is my namespace web app in which I have created the pod, and container 1 out of 1 is running. Now let's describe the pod as well. Kubectl describe pod or pod name -hyphen name space web app. So this contains container id, image id, the port it is exposed on, so all the details of the pod it contains, like the volume mounts and everything. Also it contains the events. So this contains the, like, stages of the pod, like when the pod is created and the image pulled, all the statuses it contains, like scheduled, pulled, created and started. So this is basically used for troubleshooting purpose. That's all about namespaces. Thanks for watching.